Quick to make, this recipe is perfect for a weeknight dinner, which doesn't break the bank. It has a rich, sticky sauce which coats the crispy beef, and it's so much better than takeaways. Here's the ingredients list. I'll put a copy of these down in the comments below so you can copy. So let's get started on our Mongolian adventure. Although of course this dish is about as Mongolian as I am. It's true, I haven't had any ancestry DNA test, so who knows, I may be more Mongolian than this dish. Mongolian beef and lamb started life in the Taiwanese barbecue restaurants called Mongolian barbecue, where marinated strips of beef or lamb were grilled, hence the name of this dish. Our first task is to add our cornflour or cornstarch, it's the same thing, to our beef, and we're going to make sure it's well coated. You can see I've sliced the steak into strips so frying will be quick and even. Now for those of you who've seen my recipes before, you know I only deep fry when I absolutely have to, and for this recipe there's no getting around it. The first time I had Mongolian beef years ago, the strips were crispy and I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. However, when I've ordered it subsequently, the strips were just floppy and limp, they weren't crisp at all and they didn't live up to expectation, so I set out to make a crispy version. So I think these are evenly coated enough. Let's get on with the oil. So here's our hot oil. We do need it hot as we want the meat to become crispy. Let's just test a piece just to make sure it's hot enough. Yeah, that seems to be. So let's add some more strips without overcrowding the pan. I'm probably going to have to do 3 batches with the 800 grams of beef I've got. And as they're frying, you may want to break these up if it looks like they're going to stick together. These will definitely need 4 or 5 minutes frying to be nice and crispy. Now this is what we want to see. The bubbling on the outside gives the sauce extra surface area to cling to. Let's transfer these to a plate with a paper towel to drain, while we do the same with the rest of the batches. Now it's time for our sauce, which is so simple and quick to make. In a fresh pan, I've transferred a few tablespoons of the oil and heated it. So let's add our sliced onion. You can use white or red. Traditionally, onion wouldn't be in the recipe, but I do love the way the strands of onion wind through the beef. So let's fry these for a couple of minutes, just until they're translucent. Now it's time for our garlic and ginger. I'm using paste, but finely chopped garlic and ginger will do. Just fry for 30 seconds, we don't want them to burn, just to lose their raw smell. Now it's time to add our liquids, and the quantities are so easy to remember, all half cups except for the hoisin sauce. So in goes the rice vinegar, the hoisin, which is one of my favourite flavours, so full of umami. Next, the chili flakes, which I admit isn't a liquid. Add more if you want a spicier version. Then comes the soy sauce, dark or light works here. And finally the water, good old H2O. So let's stir this and let the sauce come up to a gentle boil. Let them mix together and mingle for a couple of minutes. So a couple of minutes on, our sauce has mingled, it's combined, and the acid smell from the vinegar has very much reduced. It's a great savoury aroma. So coming on to our last few steps, let's add the spring onions or the scallions. I have kept a few back as garnish because let's face it, it looks pretty. Now onto our brown sugar, which will balance the acidity of the sauce. So let's give this a mix, and before our final ingredient goes in, I want the sugar to have completely dissolved. It's been about a minute. I can't feel any sugar granules on the bottom of the pan. So our very last thing, the cornflour and water slurry used to thicken the sauce. Let's add these and stir the sauce, and as it bubbles after a couple of minutes you can see the sauce thickening so it coats the back of a spoon. So just that teaspoon of cornflour has really thickened up the sauce, so we've got this beautiful thick sauce now which is going to coat the beef. Talking of which, it's beef time. So it's time to add our crispy beef back into the pan. So now all our beef is back in, and all I'm going to do now is stir that in, and you can see the sauce is beautiful, thick and cloying. Just tasted it actually, and that sugar really counterbalances the acidity. It's a beautiful sauce. So all I'm going to do now is literally allow the beef to heat up for 2-3 minutes, and we're ready to serve. This is perfect with rice, great with noodles, and a secret pleasure of mine, amazing cold with a salad. Go on, try this quick, crispy recipe and banish floppy beef from the menu. If you like this video, here's some more. Why not subscribe and see what's coming up next? Until next time, bye!